Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be showing you my Tenpai list. I just played at Swansea Regional today and came second. I did a deck profile about a week ago on the channel, so I'll be going through the changes to the deck that I've made after about 2 weeks of playing the deck now. So I just want to do like an updated deck profile and show you guys what I'm playing at the moment. I think there's been a few tournaments in Greece and America with some results and Tenpai results and some gameplay as well. So it's been quite interesting having this deck in the format. I think having like a go second deck that kills really efficiently is quite interesting in terms of deck building. But in terms of like what I think of the deck, I do think the deck sometimes is really autopilot. And a lot of the games that I was playing today, because it's the first tournament I played with the deck outside of locals, I felt like I was just like autopilot and kind of just was winning the game by opening like 3 non-engine, field spell and Hydra, and I didn't feel like there was that much of a skill expression. I do feel like there is certain game states where you get into where you can express some sort of skill, but I feel like when you're playing into a board and you have field spell and you go make like a black rose that's unaffected and it goes like minus, or you get like a +4 trade from doing something as silly as that, I don't think it warrants good gameplay. But I do think the deck is very interesting, and I think it's worth to pick up a core, because I do think it's like a good tool to have if you're looking to win a specific event or top a specific event, especially if this deck goes under the radar for the next like 3 to 6 months, maybe after nationals, and people forget to respect this deck. I do think it's a good tool to have to just play when people aren't prepared for it, and you can just stomp people like really easy if people aren't prepared for it. But I do think going into like nationals now and WCQs and any sort of YCSs that we have lingering, I think people will be prepared for it and have a game plan. But yeah, the deck's interesting. I do think it's still fun to play. I just don't think it warrants good gameplay. And yeah, but I will show you guys my deck profile. So if you're new to the channel and want to stick around, let me know in the comments of any sort of decks you want me to play in the future, and I'm happy to experiment new things. So yeah, we'll get straight into the profile. Oh, and one more thing. May the 4th be with you, everyone. Happy Star Wars Day, although it's the 5th of May today, but I want to show my Obi-Wan Kenobi Star Wars card. I don't play the game, but I thought it was cool to have as a token. And I got my Mandalorian helmet in the background, so may the 4th be with you. Okay, so as I said, I come second in my OTS championship today, playing the deck. So like I said, I did a deck profile about a week ago, so I kind of wanted to do an updated version with the changes that I made to the deck, along with some explanations. So for the engine, 3 Hydra, 3 Chandra, 1 Fadra. I still am a big fan of one of this. I understand it, like people want to play 2 because it's really good to open Chandra with a level 3. But I just feel like this card sucks to draw. Like it's just not very good on its own. So I'm fine with 1. And we also don't play Desire still. I was testing it, but I just genuinely feel like Prosperity is just a better quality card. So yeah, just 1 for the Fadra for now. Big fan of just the 1 of it. And then for the sort of engine spells, 3 of the Quick Play, which is absolutely broken. Ash on this does actually hurt, but not if you play into a board and Ash on this like really does hurt, especially if they set up IP and SP, or IP into SP, and Ash on this sucks. But this card is absolutely cracked in the deck. And then obviously this card is very cracked in the deck, of course. So we play Terraforming and then Prosperity as well. Still not playing Set Rotation. I took that card out because I valued more non-engine, but that's kind of it for the engine at the moment. So quite compact and shallow for the engine. And then the rest of the deck is just non-engine. So it is 3 Imperm. I think this is all the same as last time. I think this should be always the same anyway. 3 Mourner because it's good against Snake Eye. 3 Effect Veiler. I'll go over my matchups in the tournament at the end of the video as well to explain like how these cards did into the matchups that I played today. And then 2 Bell because I wanted to respect Voiceless, Snake Eye, and the Mirror in 1 card. I feel like Bell give me that sort of coverage because it's good in the Mirror if they go to like Biden Reborn something. Good against Fadra. And obviously this is good against Wanted, and it's good against voiceless as well, so I was happy I played this. I signed into like the third of this and the third of this as sort of matchup specific hand traps. But yeah, Ogre was okay today. I lost one of my games against Snake Eye because I drew Ogre and Lightning Storm. So I feel like maybe if this was any other hand trap, maybe I could have potentially won that game. But I think this card is actually overhyped right now. I think this should be a side deck card. I wanted to respect the mirror match though, because I did expect like quite a few mirrors today. There was like 2 people playing the deck, and I didn't play any of them, so didn't play any mirrors today. But I guess this card was good. I also played Centur-Ion as well in the last round, and this card just overperformed against that deck because this card's pretty good against that matchup. And then one Magnet still, just as a Seals target, and it came up against Centur-Ion as well, so it's like a decent card to have in the main against those light and dark decks. And then we play 3 Droplet and then 3 Lightning Storm. So, 2 Lightning Storm, 1 Duster. So I guess like it's weird to have these sort of board breakers mixed with the hand traps, but I think this is the only deck in the format that can sort of get away with playing a mixture of hand traps and breakers. And I feel like Droplet, I was playing Chalice, Book of Moon, Book of Eclipse, but I felt like Droplet was just such a crazy high impact card because as you can see, we're not playing Shifter. So I felt like Droplet was a bit more synergistic now with the deck because I'm not playing Shifter. And sometimes you can just send 3 cards from your hand off a Droplet, negate your opponent's whole board and kill them. So this card just felt like really high impact. It would kind of suck to set because you obviously do have to send for it. But I just felt like playing into a board. It's a card that lets you, keep like against Snake Eye in my first round. I opened up, like my hand was cracked anyway because I opened up like 2 hand traps Droplet. But my opponent made SP and then was holding it. And I just simply had to Droplet to bypass it. So yeah, this card was nuts. And then these cards just allow you to remove any stray back row, any set imperms, post side in, gets rid of any floodgates as well. There is like a debate whether to play this or not because of debarrier and mistaken arrest as well. There's loads of like quick play floodgatey sort of go first options for the Snake Eye deck. So this there's a debate whether to play this entirely, or maybe just play Cosmic, or just more hand traps. But I like this. I feel like this is fine. We're still a go second strategy, so opening up like 1 or 2 hand traps and then using Prosperity to dig for one of these always felt really fine. And I feel like this was like fine for me at the moment. But yeah. But if you wanted to play like 6 more hand traps, I probably wouldn't hate that. I just like the way to Prosperity dig me for a way to deal with any sort of on-field threats so I can resolve the combo. But yeah, that's pretty much it. 40 card main deck. We'll go on to the extra deck, which is slightly different. Like I feel like it's all standard though. The ones that really like honestly just come up are these. This sometimes, but yeah, you could probably play one of this, but it comes up in weird grind games where you have to resolve a second one. But yeah, these ones are the ones that actually come up. And then we have the weird ones. I played Ruddy Rose. Honestly, just wanted another Synchro 10 that was like fairly big. And the effect sometimes comes up in a grind game. Honestly, I think I've summoned it like twice in the last 2-3 weeks. This should be the Odd Eyes card, the Odd Eyes Synchro, but I couldn't find one. And I ordered one ages ago, but I just hasn't turned up. So this card is in here for now. And I haven't summoned it, but I think I'd make the Odd Eyes card a lot more than this if I had it, which is pretty good. And then like these cards don't really come up, and well, not necessarily this, but yeah, these like the OTK cards, they don't really come up. But if you have bodies and your opponent debarriers you in the main phase, I guess you can kill with this, but it hasn't really come up for me, but I understand the theory. And then the cards that you actually make quite a fair bait. I wasn't playing Striker Dragon originally, but so like the theory is any Tenpai makes a link 1, and then you have a spare body then for an SP to resolve the first effects. So I guess this does come up quite a lot. And then the last card is probably the best go first plan in the deck that I just play now is Seals, because I feel like sometimes Seals with like 1 or 2 hand traps honestly just gets you there. It's ridiculous like how good this card is, and it guarantees follow-up as well, which is insane. I didn't want to play like an Aether. I didn't want to play a target off this. set for Magnum because Magnum gets you into engine. Because I didn't want to play another brick in the deck. But you could probably play like a target to go first in the main. I just didn't want to warrant another brick in the deck that I didn't want to draw. But yeah, that's it. So for the side deck, it might make a bit more sense in terms of like what I'm trying to do with the deck. So like one thing that I'm kind of mentioned in the last video is all the mind games to come with this matchup. All the mind games when you're going into game 2 and 3. Will my opponent put me first? Will I go second? I don't know. I'm unsure. I feel like your opponent should be just going first anyway and just having a game plan against you. In theory, that's what they should be doing. So I was like under the assumption that most people were doing that. So I was actually not playing this card, however, in the mirror match. And I expected it to be mirror matches today. I didn't play any, but there were like Tenpai players there. So I kind of thought that the Tenpai players would put me first. Therefore, I wanted a card to kind of skip their turn. In a like guarantee skip the turn, because I don't think Shifter was that reliable. If you ash them in the Shifter line, where they go OTK through Shifter, then they cannot kill you. But again, there was no guarantee I open ash. So I think this was a guaranteed turn skip. But yeah, this card was fine. I don't think I'd play it if I didn't expect any mirrors. But yeah, card is pretty funny. And then same again with like Fenrir. I think Fenrir is like a weird card in this deck because you can play it in some matchups guaranteed going second. However, I felt like Fenrir was an option here where I wasn't sure if my opponent was going to put me first or second. Sometimes I just side into 2 copies with like sliding patterns. It worked out with 2 copies going in. And then if I was fairly certain my opponent was going to put me first, sometimes I just play the 3 going in first and end on this in the seals. Plays around nib, and you have a bounce and a targeting banish face down with Fenrir. So I feel like that was fine. So yeah. And then 3 Shifter is, yeah, as I said in like last video, is very good to have like a turn skip button and ensure that they don't kill you. Like they can do a lot of damage and probably set up like a half board, but they definitely don't. Most decks don't kill you through this. But I'm not playing it in the main because I respected the mirror a bit too much, and the mirror can kill through this unless you have Ash. So yeah, Shifter is a good card. And then I played Druid's Worm as a copy to get off Magnum. It's just another Bestial. I felt like in the matchups where the Bestials were good, I wanted at least one Bestial to search off this. In the matchups where Bestials were good, like against Voiceless, I decided in the Druid's Worm, I seal pass, made a Magnum search this. I had follow up already, so this just guaranteed that he didn't play either. So that was pretty good. And then we played the 3rd Bell and then 3rd Ogre, just matchup specific hand traps. Yeah, like not much more to say about this. I think Ogre should probably be a side deck card though going forward. And then just 3 Cosmics as the last sort of spell trap hate. And that is the deck. So yeah, quite a few changes, but like I said, I think the deck's interesting. It's a good tool to pick up to catch people by surprise. I think people will have game plans against this deck though, so yeah, just be careful when you enter a tournament with this deck that your majority of the opponents will have a game plan against you. But yeah, that's it for the deck, guys. I appreciate all the support over the last couple of weeks. It's been really good to sort of play some locals with this deck, especially in the new format. And yeah, if you like this sort of content and you want to see more sort of deck profiles, let me know in the comments and I'll see you in the next one.